It is the RIOT podcast. Whee!
Yay!
Happy St. Patrick's Day. We did it.
There you go. That's it. We remembered.
We remembered for the show and the podcast. We're killing it.
Hey, holiday, check. Done.
Check. Now we just need green donuts and we'll have completely fulfilled our destiny.
We'll call it a day. We'll be done with it. But yes, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody.
Yeah. So in the podcast today, we talk about allergies. Oh, brother. Godzilla. There's a spoiler. I don't tell you what the spoiler is, but I'll just warn you, if you're trying to stay spoiler free,
there's something out there.
Yeah, you'll need to take like 2 days off from the internet. Yeah, right. Let's see. Did I say 2 days? I meant 2 weeks.
I was going to say, like, that will not be enough time.
Yeah. Let's see. Stay out of Florida. Funko Pops. Oh, I just jumped in with both feet yesterday. Animal Crossing, St. Patrick's Day, losing your place in the drive-thru, nudist camps, moon mortgages.
You know, the basic stuff one would hear.
And a really long rant from me about fire. I thought about leaving it out of the podcast, but you know what?
Just putting it in.
There it is.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
When you hear it and you're like,
you'll know it.
What's this deal? Well, there it is.
Why don't you put it right after the allergy one so then people know, like, one equals the other.
Well, I mean, I wasn't technically on allergies when I thought about it in the shower this morning.
You're right, but
still has that feeling.
It does have a tiny bit of that.
It's long. It's really intense too. So
not as long as I thought it was going to end up being. So not as bad.
We brought in for kind of a landing.
That's right. Well, enjoy the podcast and enjoy everything that's in it.
Yeah, you guys have a great day.
Thanks for listening, and say hey at RadioU RIOT on our Facebook page.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is RadioU's Worst of the Riot.
Wow, did allergies move in yesterday in like the craziest way? Like,
even worse?
Man, I think I slept. I'm sure I slept a lot last night, but it feels like I slept for, I don't know, 10, maybe 15 minutes. I just kept waking up, and it was like I was breathing through my nose, and I wasn't snoring, you understand?
Sure.
I was making snorting sounds like a pig. It was just
that's confidence building right there when you realize that.
Well, you just spend a little time reflecting on your life choices and realizing that this time it's not your fault.
Oh, man. Is it the one, like, for me, I wake up and it's so dry, so you wonder, like, what were you doing? Like, what noises were you making so that your throat's completely dry in the morning?
Yeah, my throat. I got up so many times last night to just get a drink of water because my throat just hurt.
Yeah, that's it then.
And I'll tell you what, I'll probably regret it later, but I definitely had some allergy medicine this morning with decongestant.
Woo! What do you want to build later then? What do you feel like doing today?
I may become a little overconfident and excited. We'll see.
If you see that, or if you feel like Obi's so passionate later this morning, you're like, gosh, he's got a little extra something to him. That's that. So
I've already had that conversation with myself this morning. I had something happen, and I was like, well, I had all this stuff I wanted to say and do, and then I was like, hey, let's just take a minute.
Let's recognize this might be the medicine.
Let's just take a minute. Let's take a step back. Let's evaluate. You know,
feel like it's a speed or like it's an energy to the situations.
Well, it's the decongestant, because I went and got the good stuff, and it is pseudoephedrine, that just means fake adrenaline.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's why you get all this extra energy.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then crash, and then they just keep you going. Take another one.
It's just, I'm just glad to see. I mean, you guys don't know this, but the last 2 days after the show, I've had to go take a nap. That's true.
But at least that's not bad. It's just that's you being smart. You recognized, hey, you really have to take a break for a moment.
Yeah, and so I've gone from that to legal speed. So it's great.
What are you going to do? I don't want to see you on Friday. You're like, what's going to happen?
Friday, it's like, look, I just have to go away for a while.
You sleep till Monday.
I have to go away for a while, but I'll be back. Don't worry.
Well, thanks for the heads up, just to notice that that's there.
It just seemed fair that I let you all know now before anything's happened.
Before we just start to wonder.
That's right.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, Nikki, I wasn't going to talk about it now, but I might as well. So we are now it's 8 days away from Godzilla versus Kong. It comes out next Thursday.
Well,
in theaters or HBO Max?
No, I think it's the 31st now. I think we need to check.
All right, let's check. Godzilla versus Kong release date.
This builds the tension.
March 25th.
March 25th? Okay, I thought I saw an ad where it said the 31st on it.
Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Oh, did that come
came out on May 31st.
Ah, all right. Maybe that was it.
I don't know. So it's supposed to be next week, and it's next Thursday, right? Yeah, next Thursday. All right. So it's going to be on HBO Max, and it's going to be in theaters. Mm-hmm. I'm giving real serious thought to catching it in theaters. Now, that being said, Nikki, yesterday, somebody released a spoiler. That is, it's everything. Yeah. Like, I mean, that spoiler.
Spoiled the whole movie?
It's everything. I mean, like, it's a huge deal that got released. And when I saw it, I mean, I'm not going to say what it is.
Was it just someone who reviewed it? And
it was a toy company that released photos of a toy. And those photos had been leaked, and I had heard like there were rumors about them, but I was like, I'm not going to look. And then immediately prepping for the show last night, like, confirmed.
You didn't even have to look. It just showed itself.
I didn't have to look. It was right there.
That's too bad.
I know. 1 week out, and that is a significant spoiler.
So do you feel like now that it's been spoiled like that, maybe you don't want to see it in theaters? You'll just watch it at home? Or
no, I don't feel like it's going to ruin the movie for me. I just think it would have been a wonderful surprise. And instead, I'm like, man, really?
This has happened a few times with merch where there's been a leak on the merchandise side, and that is a spoiler for the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like... I wasn't trying. I know some people get like all crazy and they're trying not to be spoiled. I don't feel like Nikki and I have the privilege of being that way. Like, we can't. Like, with this job, you've got to stay on top of, Godzilla news. And so
you're welcome. Even though you're saying, why do we have to be on top of Godzilla news?
Somebody has to do it. That's the job.
At least one morning show must cover this stuff.
Yeah. And so, it got leaked yesterday. I was just like, daggone it.
That's too bad.
But next, I am really looking forward to seeing it. That movie is 3 hours long. 2 hours, 52 minutes.
Well.
And you know what? I'm fine with it because I don't know if you guys know this. There's nothing to do.
There's still nothing to do.
There's nothing to do. So the fact that, I will say, right or wrong, that runtime makes me a little more likely to not go to the theater if I could just watch it on HBO. But we'll see. I'll tell you this, one way or the other, whether I see it in the theater or not, I'm definitely watching it at home next weekend because I will watch it at least 2 or 3 times.
See, you got to look online. I think it's still the 31st because it says the 25th on like a lot of its stuff. But in January, they announced it was going to be moved to the 31st. And if you look at showtimes, it only starts on the 31st.
And really?
I think so. I know they went back and forth, but I think you need to look and...
Daggone it. So Google says...
It still says the 25th there.
It does, but you're right.
But
if you
I
go
think it's
over,
the 31st.
If you go over to HBOMax.com...
Yeah, they
say the 31st. Daggone it! I was looking forward to next week.
I didn't want you to be disappointed. Because then when you look at showtimes, we already see our showtimes for the movie theaters in our area, and it's not till Wednesday, March 31st.
It's fine.
Okay, well, glad we now know, so we can be prepared for now that date.
It's fine.
Say a Wednesday. Yay.
It's fine. So, is that a Wednesday?
It is a Wednesday.
Okay, so 2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yay. All right, everybody. Yay.
What a savings.
Whee.
Okay. It's fine. I'm excited.
There you go. I'll just close that out now.
Thanks, Nikki.
You're welcome.
Thanks. So that's 2 things that have been spoiled.
Maybe. I don't think the date's a real spoiler. But...
My entire next week has been ruined.
I'm sorry.
I'll live.
Listening to the worst of the riot is the equivalent of standing in line at the BMV. Ugh. Worst of the riot. RadioU.
I want to say good morning to Chris. He sent us a message on Facebook showing us the great lengths
he goes to listen to Radio U.
It's pretty impressive.
It's stunning. Chris is just a longtime wonderful listener, and it's awesome what his setup on how he listens to Radio U at work.
Yeah, and I also want to say hi to Madison, who sent us...
See, I feel like you need to post that on our page.
I actually...
Especially since it's stimulus day for a lot of people, I think this needs to be seen.
I agree with you. It's incredible. It is you know how Nikki and I love the little fire dog?
Yeah.
The little dog who's...
That's fine. Everything's good.
Yeah, where he's like, this is fine.
Yeah.
But it's him sitting there in the fire, and he says, I should make an impulsive purchase.
See, it's perfect today.
That's us.
It's perfect. So if you head over to Radio U Riot on our Facebook page, give us a second and we'll post it there. And you can always say hey there too.
I will. Yeah, right now. Boy, Facebook we have to use it for work. Can I just say they're
changing it again. Our pages in 3 days.
All they do is they're like, hey, you know how to use it? Well, we changed it.
Hey, did you just get used to it? Okay, we're going to change it again.
Do you think their goal is that we as page admins will become confused and spend money? Like, is that the eventual goal, that we'll be like, I'm so confused, I'll boost this post?
Accidentally. I don't know. I mean, if you work with pages with Facebook, it's very nice if you go there and actually interact with the post because it helps, with the algorithms and stuff. But outside of that, it's really hard to work with Facebook without paying for every boost and everything because they really limit what you guys see. It's really hard. You almost have to go to the pages that you like the most every day to see what's happening there.
Yeah.
Because they're not putting it in your feed. Even when you say, please, will you put it in my feed?
Facebook's like, if they pay us, we will.
I know, and so they change it. Every time you turn around, they're changing the setup of the pages, which I think makes it even harder for you guys to see the stuff that we're pushing out.
Yeah, well, there it is, Nikki. I
put
just
it on
posted
there?
it.
All
I should make an
right.
impulsive purchase. You know what we should? Let's go shopping.
We did receive our stimulus checks today.
Did you?
The deposit. Yeah, I got it this morning.
What?
Is yours not in there yet?
I haven't checked.
You haven't checked? Mine was there this morning. Now it's a deposit, like I have to wait till tomorrow for it to clear, but it's there.
Let me see.
You must have it. It's all the big banks today.
Holy crap, I am so rich right now.
There it is. So yours is there.
Guys, that's so much money. It's so much
We will
money.
not spend the money. We will not spend the money.
Oh, my gosh. It's so much money, though.
And I'm sure it'll bite us, the other down the road somewhere.
on?
But it's nice for today.
That is so much money. All right. Nice.
Wait, what does it say? I should make an impulsive
purchase.
Now that really comes through.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So I have had a long-standing deal with myself that I don't buy Funko Pops.
Oh, yeah.
But the exceptions that I have made have been I have gotten them as gifts for what I would consider to be dead franchises. So Tron, for example, I got 2 Tron Funko Pops for Christmas 2 years ago.
But you're saying someone gave them to you, so it's not like you bought them.
Last year for Christmas, I got 2 Mystery Science Theater 3000 Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Dead franchises. And one
They don't
more,
want to hear you say that.
I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And I got one of Paul Atreides from Dune, which is a movie from the early 80s that they are, of course, they've remade. It was a book. That's coming out later this year, but this is the old one.
Yeah.
So those are the 5 Funko Pops that I own. And that's it.
But
because
he could have way more because they all look tempting.
I know some people hate them. They look stupid, whatever. I love the art. I love the way they look. I think they're fun. I feel like the greatest cautionary tale I had was when Funko was new, I visited my uncle who works in an office, and he introduced me to a guy that was like 2 doors down from him, and his entire office was full of them.
Yeah, people went real in on them.
I can tell you right now that when I saw that, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, that stopped you.
I can't, whatever this is, I can't get into it. But they continue to be the ones that make some toys at times for dead franchises. And yesterday, they announced their newest dead franchise. Seinfeld.
Oh, you do love that. That's a classic show you love.
I love Seinfeld. I did not watch Seinfeld when it was like on TV.
Yeah.
I discovered it later, and I have become like, I'm an enormous Seinfeld fan. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So.
Oh, they look really cute.
I know.
They did a really good job on them.
I'll tell you what I did.
Did you
just
buy
bought them all.
You bought them all?
They were pre-orders, but I pre-ordered all of them.
Who's the guy with the taller hair? What
Kramer.
character? Kramer. That one looks really good.
Yep.
Oh, those are fun.
I know, and I bought 2 or 3 of the T-shirts too.
Yeah. Oh, wow, you went all out.
I did. I'll tell you something about Funko Pop shirts. They are great shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you know what? I love Seinfeld. I have no Seinfeld memorabilia of any kind. So I bought some shirts and I bought one of each of the characters. And I know right where I'm going to put them. And that's it.
So are they mini ones or are they the same size?
Well, there are like
mini
2
ones?
things.
Mm-hmm.
They have one that's like this diorama thing that I did not buy that. That's not what I wanted. I just straight up bought like
the normal Funko Pops.
The regular Funko Pops of the Seinfeld characters.
Well, that's fun. That's good. And again, you don't buy them too often, but you needed to buy all of them.
I essentially doubled my collection in one day. So now I feel like I can no longer say I don't really buy them.
But because, the stimulus stuff's today, it really does seem like a stimulus purchase. That really was your fun thing to buy.
It really does. And I totally bought them. I've got all 4 of them.
When do they come?
I don't think they come out until like June or something. I can't remember. It's later.
So you pre-ordered it?
I totally did, because I actually thought, you know what? This is one of those stupid things that I'll want these, and I'm like, I'll wait and get them, and then they're impossible to get.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah is probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on RadioU.
I would like to reiterate to you that I continue to have a stay out of Florida policy. Now, I have only recently begun that policy because originally it was a stay out of Australia policy. Here's what I've begun to understand, Nikki, is that it starts in Oregon and then it all drains down through Florida and then it gets spit out into Australia. But what with Florida being America's drain, that's where a lot of very dangerous things get clogged up in the drain, like Burmese pythons clogging up the drain. And now, what are we seeing in Florida, in America's drain? They just caught themselves a big old great white shark.
Hey. Normally, it's not always great white sharks there, like they are there. But if you see a lot of shark attacks, it tends to be different, like a bull shark or something. But for this, you don't want to see this. Oh, it was caught by a fisherman.
Yeah, and this is the thing that I've been thinking about, okay? So here's what we got. Big John Shark Fishing Adventures.
Yeah.
This guy is able to build a business around shark fishing.
Yeah.
Which means that there's enough
adventure fishing.
There's enough sharks out there.
Yeah.
For him to 24/7 be out, fishing for sharks. You know what that tells me?
There's too many.
Stay out of Florida.
Stay out of there.
Stay out of Florida.
Well, there's other parts of the coast that get great white sharks too.
Stay out?
Stay out of it. But you just want to put your foot in the water. You just want to get in there.
That's all it takes.
And then they'll get you.
I'm telling you right now, like they will suck you right up.
So it took 40 minutes for them to reel in the great white shark. They are found, throughout the world. They're saying in shallow waters, but too shallow to be close enough to the beach. And that's where they got them. So that's a no for you?
This is just a heads up. I know what you're thinking. You're like, but I want to go to Disney. No, you don't. No, you don't. They might have land sharks there.
You never know. You want to be safe. It looks like they didn't even get this like on a boat. They literally dragged it in. So it was more like shallow fishing because they dragged it in by its tail and were able to get it that way.
Dragged it in by its tail?
Well, they caught it like with the fishing originally, but then, when you reel it in for that last time, sometimes you get a net or something and they dragged it in that way.
Man, you know that some people are looking at this video and they're like hearing that Sarah McLachlan song and they're crying about the majestic fish that's being murdered. I'm not. I'm just like, I'm out. I'll let them. I am willing to cede the coastal waters of Florida to the sharks.
What happens if you get one and then the rest get mad? You got to be very careful with that.
You just described
every movie.
The plot of Jaws 4.
Great white shark.
Jaws 4, The Revenge.
There's a Jaws 4?
Yeah.
Really? That's it? Yeah. They're mad.
And it's about a shark that comes for revenge because of the other sharks.
Well, they want to be careful because you could get revenge from this.
There it is. So,
no to the fishing adventure. All right, well, we'll just make sure we don't plan that for our next trip to Florida.
Essentially, no to Florida, though who knows? Maybe I go to Florida. But
they're good parts.
Inland. Way inland, no Everglades.
But then the land sharks will get you.
I know.
Or definitely the alligators or the snakes.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
They say with radio, I should be taking the quickest and simplest way to explain what I have to say. But man, I woke up with like a thought that is just enormous. I've been chewing on it for days. So, Nikki, do we want this big thought or should we just...
Well, remember you're on allergy medicine, so maybe try to condense it, but interested in hearing what the big thought is.
Okay, well, let me give you let me try to make it short without completely killing it. Okay, fire.
Yeah.
Like, fireplace, fire.
Sure.
Fire. In mythology, where did we get fire? Prometheus stole it from the gods and gave it to mankind.
Sure.
That's where technology came from. Do you think in general of fire as being dangerous?
Normally, yeah.
Kinda.
Or powerful, yeah.
Yeah, but you'll take a fire and put it in your house.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's in the fireplace, it's fine.
Contained, yes.
Contained. It's no big deal, right? Okay, now, this is where it gets a little weird. The other gods got really mad at Prometheus because he elevated humanity and made them somewhat godlike in giving them fire. This is where everybody's going to start looking at me funny, but stay with me.
Walk with him.
Stay with me for a minute. Where is the one space that humanity is probably the most godlike in everything that we do? My answer to that is, and again, stay with me, it's when we have sex. Because that, my friends, is where we create life. We go into this space where we create human life. That is nuts. If you that is crazy talk. And it's the only way that it can be done. You're like, well, we're working on the lab. It's not like when it comes down to it, we need 23 chromosomes from 2 human beings. They've got to be specific genders. They got to go together. It's real specific. And here's what I've been thinking. That the thing that sex and fire have in common is that they're both very dangerous. They're both godlike. And they're both common. Mm-hmm. So we don't think about them as being dangerous. You don't really, fire's dangerous, but you don't think about it being that dangerous because you put it in the fireplace, you put it in the fire pit, you put it in whatever. The same thing with sex. Sex is common. It's all over the place. So you don't think of it as being dangerous anymore. And by dangerous, I mean powerful. I mean, all these things can happen as a result. And so when we start talking about fire, you're like, oh, as long as it's in the fireplace, it's fine. But man, look around culture. We've let sex out of the fireplace. It is raging. It is burning things down. It is crazy time out there. And I feel like we've got these two reactions to it. One is there's nothing wrong with it. We're the little dog sitting in the fire and everything's burning down and we're saying this is fine. Or this other reaction is it's bad and we'll never have anything to do with it ever. Here's what blows my mind. When it comes to fire and when it comes to sex, God is just like, oh, you should enjoy this. You just want to keep it safe in this space. God knows that fire is going to burn down your house, but he also knows that sex has the power to burn down your life. And I know what it sounds like. You think oh, well, Obadiah's anti-sex now and RadioU's anti-sex. I always knew it. No, I'm just telling you that just because it's common doesn't mean it's dangerous. Just because it's dangerous doesn't mean it can't be enjoyed. It just has to stay confined. God loves you and I enough to give us guidelines about how to live our life. And I know that those guidelines sometimes feel ridiculous, but I'm telling you, I keep looking around. Things are on fire. And God is not saying fire's bad. He's saying, hey, let's keep it in the fireplace. Let's keep it in a safe space so that it can be enjoyed properly. So look, when God wants to help you, when he's saying to you, hey, this is not a good idea. I want you to enjoy this, but enjoy it in a way that is an actual safe way to enjoy it. Don't just blow him off. Listen to what he has to say, because he has literally stolen fire from the God himself, and he shared it with you and me. And he's like, hey, this is dangerous. Just be careful with it. Enjoy it, but be careful. I thought about all that in the shower this morning.
Yes. There's a lot to unpack.
Shower thoughts. Told you it took a long time.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Why don't we cut to some really important breaking news?
Yeah.
Did you get all of the Mario stuff you wanted in Animal Crossing?
I did. Yeah, I got everything I wanted.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a little Mario section on my Animal Crossing island.
It's nice. Did you see what they just announced they're going to be adding to Animal Crossing this month?
What'd they say?
The whoopee cushion.
Oh, okay. I mean, the Hello Kitty stuff's coming. That's the Sanrio pack.
That's next week, right?
I think so. Or is it the 26th? I actually put it in my phone, so I'll get a notice, an alert that day.
There's some strange things that come up when you Google Hello Kitty.
Why?
Okay, so I won't get into it.
I would do Hello Kitty, like Sanrio Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Okay. And there it is. 22 cards, $20. It's already on eBay. How do you do that? Reprint? Are they already in a reprint?
I don't
Animal
think
Crossing
so.
Sanrio Amiibo cards reprint details?
Well, maybe the reprints before they even come out.
Oh,
I didn't
but
get a
you know
notification.
what? You know what, though? Those have been, remember they were in other countries?
Yeah.
So they're just now coming to, But they're doing an April Fool's update, Nikki, that will include things like the whoopee cushion.
That I can buy?
Oh,
Great.
Yeah. Just for you.
Great. What a lovely addition.
That sounds right up your alley.
I'm not into Animal Crossing. Like, I enjoy it, and I have such a fun time playing. I just don't get into it, or I'm not as good as some people, like with the Mario stuff. They made so many amazing things with it. So like with the whoopee cushion, I'll just buy it probably and just let it sit there in storage.
Well,
We'll just see what we do.
Special occasions.
Yeah.
April 1st.
When you bring it out. Anything else they're doing that day? Or
They don't actually say what else is going to be included, but they said there will be a bunch of April Fool's pranks that you'll be able to purchase in the Nook shopping service.
Nice.
And let's see, the Sanrio collaboration pack will be sold by Target in the U.S. after March 26th.
Oh, this is cute. They're going to add, along with the whoopee cushion thing, they're going to add some prom things. So you'll be able to make like a prom in your Animal Crossing.
That feels sad.
Why?
Well,
if you didn't get one last year, if it wasn't the same,
it's sad.
that's why
it feels
sad.
It feels sad because if you were just adding prom stuff for Animal Crossing, doesn't feel sad. Adding Animal Crossing prom stuff now feels like, hey, since you can't go to prom, here's some Animal Crossing.
Prom will be on Animal Crossing April 1st through 30th. You get a prom night wall, flooring, clothing, all the stuff that goes with it. It's a cute idea, though. It's fun.
I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
It
does feel sad if you didn't get one last year.
It's a little sad to me. So, but hey, you know what? I hope that you and your animals have fun with your whoopee cushions at prom.
Great. Well, great. Okay, never mind. It's fine. No. At least they're putting out stuff. That's all that matters.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
How badly do you want to be homecoming queen?
Well, we'll do whatever it takes, right? I guess.
I mean, would you vote for yourself?
No, during school, that wasn't really something I was more interested in. But I know some people are very driven by it, and they wanted the crown and they wanted the title.
Well, let's start with this. Would you vote for yourself?
No, I think that's always feels weird sometimes.
Now, see, I disagree with that.
Oh, you would have?
I ran for class president, student body president, and I absolutely voted for myself.
I'm not saying that in a mean way, but I feel like sometimes like class president and stuff and homecoming, king or
it's
queen.
Not the same.
It's not the same. So if you would have said, oh, would you vote for yourself for like president? Well, yeah, then maybe.
Look, nerdy people are the ones that do student government.
Yeah,
okay?
They can vote for themselves all they want.
It's the cool kids that are in the homecoming court. I know it. And I accept that, Nikki. It's fine. In this particular case, Emily, she's 17. She's from Pensacola, Florida. She wanted to be homecoming queen, and she was willing to vote for herself over 200 times.
Now, how do you make that happen?
Her mom, Laura, was an elementary school principal in the school district. So she used her mom's credentials to log into.
Well, I think the mom logged in too.
Well, it was
a
they were in
family
it together.
group
Yeah,
effort.
they were in it together.
Yeah.
And so they did that. Now she gets elected. She does the whole thing, and somebody ends up checking. I don't know why. Like maybe they always would have done this, but every time you would vote, it would log your IP address. Well, your IP address is unique to your house or that particular computer. And so they noticed that one IP address voted like 130 times in 30 minutes or something. It was like this really narrow window.
250 fraudulent votes were cast overall.
Right.
And so multiple students reported that the daughter described using her mother's account to cast votes. So they kind of... Yeah, she must have said something about it.
Telling people that she did it.
Yep. So the investigation found that the account of the mom who worked at the school accessed 372 high school records. So basically they're logging into your high school account and then cast it from there. And that started in August of 2019, that they were going into students' accounts.
It's really something.
So yeah, they're both booked and in jail. Even like the high school one, like the homecoming queen.
Check out the charges. Let's see. Offense against users of computers, computer systems, computer networks, electronic devices. Unlawful use of a two-way communications device. Criminal use of personally identified information. Conspiracy to commit the aforementioned offenses.
So the mom's in county jail, and then the daughter's in a juvenile detention center.
What?
So for me, though, like I thought it must have been because she was talking about it. Because
that's how she got caught.
Yeah, because when I first saw this article, I was like, well, man, they must have not wanted her to be the homecoming queen, and someone started asking questions. But I didn't know then at that point that she had been allegedly like saying things to friends, because otherwise, who would have looked into this?
Well, that was my thought. I just thought that maybe someone happened to notice, but...
Or hated her enough to notice.
I don't know. I just know that okay, let's say that you cheat and become homecoming queen. Why on this earth would you tell anyone that you cheated to get it?
Maybe she thought enough. Maybe because she thought enough time had passed, or that that everybody was still excited. And then I also want to know, could they have done the math to figure out would she have won anyways? Or like, would she have had enough votes?
I don't know. My thing is, I can't put myself in that position. I've never been able to run for homecoming queen, but I have a hard time imagining that you would want to get it
so bad,
like falsely. Why would it wouldn't mean anything to you?
Do anything for the crown.
Okay.
Anything for it.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on RadioU.
So what are you planning on doing for St. Patrick's Day? Nikki, right here, I can get you a dozen green donuts with a coupon. You have to have the coupon
you have
for
to have
$7.
That from Krispy Kreme, probably, I assume.
Krispy Kreme.
Well, it is St. Patrick's Day, but it's also a lot of people's stimulus deposit day. So they're saying it's like just the best green day ever. But yeah, you could go get a free dozen donuts if you want.
Oh, wah. No. It's not free.
Well, how much is it?
It's $6.99.
Oh, I thought you
and
said it was
normally,
free.
I think their dozen is like $10 or something.
Well, that's a little off.
And they're green. Oh, and if you want to get this discount, you got to sign up for their rewards membership program.
Well, wait. Hang on, everybody. Hang on.
Yep, come on.
I feel like we got a lot of qualifiers there.
I
have to have the coupon?
Okay, let me see here.
And I got to sign up for something?
Yeah, it says coupon is eligible for people who join rewards members. It's free to join.
What if you're already a rewards member? Not that I'm not. But
Are you?
I'm not.
Oh, you know what, though? Oh, gosh. Okay, so there's the green glazed. Who cares? They have some other St. Patrick's Day donuts that are looking positively delightful.
What do they have?
Well, is this a unicorn donut that I'm looking at here?
Is that for? Oh,
Lucky
I see the
unicorn.
green.
All right, it's an original glazed donut dipped in white icing decorated as unicorn.
A unicorn.
Mm-hmm. Lucky leprechaun, a cookies and cream filled donut dipped in green icing decorated with stripes and a lucky leprechaun hat.
Nice.
Lucky gold coins. That sounds like you, Nikki. Some doubloons.
Some gold.
An original glazed donut dipped in white icing topped with a shamrock sprinkle blend.
Yeah.
Or Lucky Sprinkles, an original glazed donut dipped in green icing and sprinkled with shamrocks.
They look good, but and no offense, it just every time I get a Krispy Kreme donut that is their specialty ones and stuff, or like the filled ones, they always look so nice on the outside, but they have like nothing on the inside.
Gosh.
They're hollow and shallow.
Man, you know what? Like
I just want to go back in there and be like, could you just put the piping bag back in there and add just a tiny bit more?
Would it kill you to put some cream?
Like the whole
Doesn't
left
have to be a
side
ton
of
of
it
cream.
has nothing. So I always get disappointed, and then we just go through a cycle, and then I eat the rest because I'm disappointed.
Oh my gosh, Nikki, I'm telling you right now, like that's a whole thing. That's a big life lesson. You know, I finally gave in to what I wanted. Not
You're disappointed.
It looked so good, but it was empty.
Yep.
And then in a fit of depression, I just ate them all.
But even though I was mad at them for being empty.
And I was so unsatisfied.
And I don't know if that's every Krispy Kreme location or if it's just ours,
Yes.
but I feel like the one near us, they're like, no, that's enough. It's fine.
They're just like, listen, the appearance of cream is the same as cream.
Yeah, you're like, that is not it.
So
but
you just put a little bit of,
then
like,
if you
it's not even
find
cream, it's like a white coloring.
what you need to do is find a local donut shop that doesn't have the pressure of like, are they weighing how much goes in there, or they have a rule and they're fine and they're just more free with the cream.
Jay Lion.
Or
Come
like
on.
us, if you go where like the Amish places are, man, it's real
gosh.
stuff and it's leaking out because they put so much in there. That right there.
Come on.
That's what I want.
I need a minute. I'm so
That's
moved.
what I want, not this stuff.
I'm so moved. You're right. You're right.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, you know what kind of car I drive?
Yes, a Honda CRV.
Yes, and you're looking at me right now.
Yes,
Are you looking at me?
I'm looking at you.
Now, I want you to not look at me the way you do as a lifelong friend.
Sure.
I want you to try to look at me through the eyes of just somebody that just walks past me.
A stranger?
Another chubby guy wearing a novelty T-shirt.
In athleisure wear? All right.
He's got indoor
beard
soccer
growing
shoes
in
on
more.
because one day he played indoor soccer one time and can't let go.
Yeah.
He's got a beard, thinks it looks tough, but it really just enhances his round face.
Yeah.
You know,
That like that, sure.
Okay. That. Now, you see me. Is there anything about me that communicates to you this guy
Drives a CRV?
I'm not going to wait in line behind this guy?
Did you have a problem? Obi just sometimes has these things, but that's normally when it's like person to person. So I don't know if something about your...
Do I drive funny?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, you've had a few cases of people who have done things.
Okay.
But in the car, they can't like really see you. And I don't think it says anything about your car. Do you have, well, maybe it's your stickers. Do you have
No stickers.
no stickers?
The only thing that would identify it is I've got dice in the mirror.
Well, that's it then.
What do you think that communicates something? I
They're
don't know.
like, here, let me make him mad.
I just use them because the CRV is like the top selling, wherever I go, there's a million black CRVs. So
Yeah.
my dice, I'm like, there's my car.
Oh, now you'll know where it is.
Yeah. So in 4 days, 2 times,
Yeah.
this has happened to me. And that is, I'm in line at McDonald's. Yes, shame me. McDonald's, twice in 4 days. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, everybody's doing it. They're just not saying it, so it's fine.
Okay. So, they have the dual line setup.
Yeah.
Where you order.
You're in line.
Yeah. So each time that I've been in the last 4 days, I go up and I order, and then it's supposed to be one at a time.
And you're supposed to be able to figure it out yourself, based on if you hear them ordering or if you've already ordered, who gets in line first to go to the next parts.
So the last 2 times, the person, goes, and then another person, hurries up and gets out in front of me, so they mess up the order line.
Why would they do that?
That's why I'm asking.
They're just in a hurry.
What is it? No, I think it's me. There's something about me that says,
and the dice,
get in front of him now.
We can do this to this guy. It happens.
So the funny part about it is that it ends up causing that person so much more trouble than if they would have just waited, because then they get up there and they inevitably spend forever explaining to the person that that's not their order, that they're a different order.
Well, do you think they feel shame at that part because they've caused problems, or they don't care? They're just trying to get in front of anybody?
Not anybody.
Well, stop going through the line.
Me.
Go wait in the parking spot.
It's personal.
Go wait in the parking spot.
After me.
They're not at, okay, that is the allergy medicine talking to you.
I'm not sure that it is.
Just be like everybody else so that you order, go to the spot, they'll bring it out to you, there'll be something wrong with it, you can never get it fixed, and then just leave.
Yeah. So I pull up each time. They get it. Like the one time, not this last time, the time before, they gave the other guy my food.
Oh, yeah, your order.
I was just like, no, that's not my order. No, that's not my order.
Aww.
What was your order?
And then you have to wait for them to put it together.
Things where you're like, this wasn't me. I didn't do this.
Yeah.
He did.
But you're at the end, so you get to feel the brunt of it. I'm sorry. I don't know why that happens to you.
What is it about?
I don't know.
Me?
You're a good guy. And
no, I don't
person
think I am.
to person, I think people can feel that, and they feel bad.
They just want to get in front of me?
They just want to get in front of you. But in the car, I don't understand why even in the car you get this stuff too.
I don't know, but it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't awake at night thinking about it.
Well, you're awake anyway.
I'm awake anyway. It just comes
so
up.
It's not just for that reason.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, RadioU.
Okay, Nikki, I have more fast food discussions to have. Would you rather discuss Taco Bell or do you want to talk about KFC?
That's a good question. I go to both about the same amount. It's been a while. Let's do KFC. Let's talk about KFC.
Well, over the weekend, so you might think in the United States, we get crazy about stuff. So like the Pokemon stuff in the Happy Meals, and people got ridiculous. Well, over the weekend, KFC teamed up with Genshin Impact in China.
And that's that game?
It is. It's one of the most popular games in the world, though I don't hear a lot of people in the U.S. talking about it. But I did an Obadiah Plays of it. You can find it on our YouTube channel. I spent some time playing it. Other than that, it is a shockingly good-looking game, and it's free.
So that's what really makes it popular, though obviously you pay for stuff in it.
Yes. Well, they released these characters and codes, I believe, through KFC in China. Each restaurant got between 2 and 4 of these codes. Mm-hmm. In some cases, thousands of people.
Oh, showed up for it?
Showed up.
Oh, my gosh.
And waited at the KFC.
Wow.
Now, this did not result in rioting, throwing things, whatever, but it did result in the local ordinances that are in place because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Those were being broken because there were so many people.
So the events had to be canceled at that point.
Right. So the police ended up coming in and dispersing them. The thing that gets me is okay, you're waiting in line. 2 to 4 per restaurant?
That's not. It reminds me of what was the sauce from years ago?
Yes,
from
it was,
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
The Szechuan
sauce.
That one, and they had this big thing where it was going to be limited release at McDonald's, but then people found out they only had a couple, and there were hundreds of people in line for this, and everybody gets super mad. So that I think it was a year or so later they re-released it again, and they had a full amount of sauces.
Tons.
Because people got so mad about how limited it really was and not really being as vocal to the people in line. Like there's not 1,000 of them. So if there's 1,000 people in line, that doesn't work.
Yeah. And man, wow. The one thing that I didn't know, because I haven't found anybody explaining it, was it one of those things where you didn't know if you were going to get the code or not, or if they just had a couple of them to give out? And that I don't know.
I can't tell. Like maybe they had thousands to give out, but only a few would win.
Yeah, I don't know. But you had to not just order the food, but you had to go up to the counter and say, "Meet in another world. Enjoy delicious food."
And that's how you
that was how you got the code. But word spread fast.
All right. Well, that's a no. And again, because of COVID stuff, they closed it down at locations because people were not able to social distance and not be so close.
When I read this last night, I was like, I should check that game out. It's been a really long time. But I had uninstalled it. I was like, it's probably for the best.
You don't feel like installing it again?
Worst of the Riot podcast.
One of the industries that's been hit hardest by the coronavirus has been the nudist resorts.
Oh, has it? Well, I mean,
it's hard because
who can go to a resort, let alone a nudist one?
Well, Nikki, you want to feel free. But what are they doing? You're like, come to the nudist resort where you don't have to wear anything except a face mask. It's hard.
Would they fight the face mask, or is everybody okay with that?
I don't know, Nikki, but I've got great news, and that is coming up on May 28th, the Whitethorn Lodge Family Nudist Park will be open again.
Oh, it's been a year. It's been a long time.
It's been a long... Man, I've worn so many clothes. So much clothes. And finally...
So do you think if you weren't there, like you were at home and you spent the whole year not being able to be a nudist, are you like over it, or you're desperately wanting to go back?
I love that. Where you're like, I spent an entire year clothed and it's not that bad.
Athleisure's great. It's comfortable. It's not too binding.
Weirdly enough, I actually find clothing more comfortable than nudity.
I don't really want to look too deep into this. Like, I don't want to do a Google search.
Look at these pictures.
No, but that's not what I mean. I mean, like, my question for someone who is a nudist is, are you a nudist because you don't like the feel of clothes, or is it something else?
I don't know.
Like, is it a weird something else?
Well,
is it whatever?
No, they like, if you look into it a little bit, they're really hardcore about like, it's not, you guys have sexualized the human body. Mm. This is not a sexual thing. It's just all of us hanging out naked. Which I
just can't get into.
I just when I hear it.
I love you pants. I love you sweatshirt.
So
I even love you shoes.
I'm looking at some of their reviews just on Google Reviews. It's in Pennsylvania. Beautiful campground, friendly people, very well organized volleyball tournament.
Nice. Well, that's what you really want.
Naked volleyball.
Yep. All right. So it'll be open for the 2021 season. It was closed all last year, but it'll be opening this year thanks to, COVID things lessening.
Yeah. The thing, again, just getting back to the whole idea of the nudist group, I'll just tell you, like, I don't understand. Like, nudity isn't something, like, it's not an end to itself. Do you know what I mean? We're like, I'm going here so I can be naked. I can be naked at home.
Well, I mean, I think they just want to be naked outside, and maybe that's not okay in your area.
Okay. All right.
Around other people who don't mind. Now, they do say
bring a towel. You have to have a towel to put down.
If you're coming, they encourage you to be vaccinated or have a negative COVID test before visiting. It doesn't say it requires it, but they're encouraging it.
Yeah. Well, I just want to let you guys know the long, what's the word I want? The where you've gone a long time without something.
The break. I just want to start with.
Can't think the word I want. All right, I'll just say your long
hiatus. Does that work?
It's going to work for me.
Okay, is that okay?
Your long nude hiatus is coming to an end.
And you can go back to the camp.
You can go back to hanging out naked.
David said withdrawal, or is that not the word?
It's not what I was looking. I like hiatus. I'll take it.
That works. You can go back, but they are saying, hey, try to have the vaccine or a negative test before you go.
Well, I'm excited about it because I'm going to get the vaccine, and then, man, these clothes are coming off. Or not.
I hope that's the break that plays throughout the day, right there. What did Obi say on the show today? Ta-da!
These clothes are coming off.
That's it.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
So you find yourself with a stimulus check, and you're like, I'm not sure what I should be doing with it. Have you thought about moving to the moon?
Nope. No one? No one thought that? Okay, good.
You haven't thought about it?
Is that an option they want to take our money for? Is that like a deposit or something?
Well, I'll tell you that money.co.uk, they sat down and figured out, like, okay, let's say that you decided you wanted to build a house on the moon.
Yeah.
So, you're going to mortgage something on the moon.
So some land?
Yeah. Now, okay, you would need a lunar greenhouse, living quarters, a water recycling room, a nuclear reactor.
Something small.
Kitchen and pantry, dining room, air-sealed oxygen pods, spacesuit room, living quarters, sleeping quarters. So all of this, it's approximately 1,300 square feet, which, in space is not bad, all things considered. So they were saying about $40 million to put this thing together.
Whoa.
And and just to be clear, that includes move-in costs.
Which will be a lot. Sometimes when you move, the initial investment is where most of the expense comes in.
Yeah, so that's going to be taken care of. It's going to be rolled into the mortgage. And they're saying about $325,000 a month.
Whoa.
For 30 years.
Hypothetically, if you were to live on the moon.
And your moon place is like it's done.
I didn't get that much for the stimulus.
Oh,
and I've been watching that homestead rescue show where like people who homestead like live off the grid. And they're not making it, and they live like down the road. Like in Alaska or Arizona or something. Like, I don't know if the living on the moon would be all right.
Why not?
I just don't know. It's not always the best idea to be the first one to move into the neighborhood.
I get what you're saying. No,
what if it doesn't catch on and then you're only there?
You're not moving into the neighborhood. You're creating the neighborhood.
You're creating the neighborhood for like millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Well, okay. All right. I mean, I see what you're saying. I'm just telling you that this is an option. Maybe if we pooled our stimulus checks together, we're up to $2,800 already.
Still not close. And, maybe that's not for everybody. We all like to live in different places. Maybe try, like Montana first.
Arizona.
See if you if you want to live where there's no one else around. I was watching this real estate video for a Montana ranch you could buy.
Yeah.
It was so far away. Like, like now we buy food like at the grocery store and then I just choose not to eat it and I still, go pick up something.
Right.
You can't. You have to eat and make what you bought. There's no other option.
There's nowhere to go.
You can't change your mind, and you probably had to buy food for like a month. And you went to go, so I don't want to do that.
There is something, solitude appeals to me, but not like that.
No, exactly. You have to find a great combination where you're still far enough away, but still in high-speed internet delivery locations.
I mean, the internet, yes. The delivery, I'll live.
Well, if you couldn't get Amazon.
Oh, see, I was thinking about food delivery.
Well, both.
Yeah, no, you're right. Well, what if it's like, it's a 30-minute drive into town? Too far?
It's a lot.
You wouldn't need to go every day.
Just every so often.
Just,
All right, well, the moon, if you want to, that's just what they would say you would need to save up for.
Okay. And, but this Montana thing, what, couple million?
That one that I saw was for $4.9 million.
Okay.
But it was like 400 acres.
I think I'd still rather go to the moon.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, I don't like to dig through the trash, but sometimes as a forensic investigator, it's necessary. And what I just saw in RadioU's break room has raised an eyebrow for me.
What are you concerned about?
Okay, Nikki. Who's the last one in the building, really?
Well, with the trash and stuff, it'd probably be Hudson.
It'd be Hudson.
Yeah.
That's right. So if Hudson is the one who most likely, I'm not saying JR isn't trashy, but I think what I found at the top of the trash belonged to Hudson. And that cup looked suspiciously like a cheap Chinese cup.
Hudson.
Hudson is
Did he get that for dinner?
He's the one of us
Yeah.
that experienced the Band-Aid.
He went to this Chinese restaurant near us, and there was a Band-Aid in the crab rangoon.
Right.
And he said he wasn't really going to go back.
He said he wasn't going to go back.
But time has passed, and we haven't gone back either in like solidarity. So, can we go back?
I have not been back
Since then?
to that restaurant.
I haven't either.
Since then.
Well, we should ask him because are we okay? Can we go back now? And restaurants can change. So maybe it's gotten better. Maybe it's gotten worse.
Nikki, I so seldom see people actually change.
For the better.
They usually say they've changed, and then the next thing you know, you're nibbling on a Band-Aid.
Well, you can look up their health code violations to see. Like, you can do that for any restaurant.
Maybe we should do that. And, again, I want to check in with Hudson. I'm curious, did Hudson go back?
The cheap Chinese?
Or... here's the other thing that happens sometimes is like maybe Chris.
Chris said, he just texted. Chris said that was mine. Chris, did you go to Cheap Chinese then?
Okay, that's what I was going to say is sometimes Chris will build what we call the lunch queue where he's got a bunch of cups laid out and then he, eventually goes back and clears out the cups.
Well, I don't know by Chris going. Again, does that mean we're all free to go back to this place or what?
I don't know, Chris.
Chris, you went last week. He's just throwing away the cup. Now, that seems like all of us, doesn't it?
Honestly, yeah. Again, Chris, I have known Chris to have, multiple cups. It's like his lunch history. You can go in and be like, okay, on Tuesday you went here, on Wednesday you went here, on Thursday you went here. And
then at the end of if it was yesterday, he just went through and cleaned it out then.
Yeah.
Aww. So, well, Chris, we're sorry. That was you. Or I guess we should say Hudson. We're sorry. We were questioning you.
If we in any way questioned him, yeah.
Maybe Hudson. We'll find out. If anybody could check with Hudson this afternoon while he's on RadioU, to say, hey, Hudson, don't say it's from us. Just casually say,
heard.
Hey, do you like Chinese food? What's a place you recommend? And hey, have you heard of this place? But they had a Band-Aid. Have you gone back?
Chris Winters says he's been back.
He has been. All right. Well. It's not like we can have lunches anyways.
Why not?
Or as a group. So if you go,
you can't. No,
if you go privately, that's your own business.
It's his own secret shame.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
And there's some kids out here making the noises. I don't pay my taxes to not be able to sleep.